What's up, everybody? Bloomberg. U.S. housing market recoups $3 trillion lost in recent slowdown. Bali inside. Home shortage drives housing market to record $47 trillion value. Yahoo Finance. U.S. housing market recovers the nearly $3 trillion it lost, hitting record $47 trillion in total value. Wherever I look, this is the headline. It all stems from a Redfin article titled, U.S. Housing Market Recovers the Nearly $3 trillion it lost, hitting record $47 trillion in total value. So are they saying that the U.S. housing market has fully recovered? Are home prices done correcting? And if so, what does this mean for the affordability crisis, which is at an all-time high? So today, we'll take a deep dive into that Redfin article to see what they're saying, and then stay tuned until the end because I attended a presentation recently by one of our leading housing market experts, and his predictions on the future of the U.S. housing market, well, it may shock you. So let's dive right in. According to the Redfin analysts, the U.S. housing market has reached an all-time high valuation of $47 trillion, surpassing the previous record of $46.6 trillion. This means that the housing market has regained the nearly $3 trillion in value that was wiped out during the past year's slowdown. Low inventory is the main reason that home values are still increasing, according to a Redfin analysis of 90 million U.S. residential properties. Even the crazy dramatic uptick in mortgage rates between June of 2022 and February of 2023, which caused a $2.9 trillion decrease in value, hasn't stopped home values from reaching an all-time high. And this is with less than stellar demand. There are simply not enough good homes for sale right now. And when I say good homes, I mean those homes that show well and are priced right. Because don't misunderstand me. I've seen plenty of houses sit on the market week after week having to reduce their prices without any offers. And they don't get an offer until they reduce their price enough the buyer's willing to buy it, or they totally change their marketing and the house shows a lot better. It's just a very mixed market, which we've spoken about a lot in recent videos. And according to Freddie Mac, interest rates for a 30-year fixed mortgage rate for the week ending August 10th were 6.96%, up significantly from a year ago when they were 5.22%, and well over double what the rates were 2 years ago when they were less than 3%, which has created the locked-in effect, or golden handcuffs, where sellers who have these low interest rates but may want to upsize or downsize are staying put because they don't want to trade in their low interest rate to then go buy something with double the rate. This is what's keeping inventory so low, thus creating an imbalance between supply and demand, which is keeping home prices high. The dominance of the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage in America is propping up home values, said Redfin economics research lead Chen Zhao. Tons of homeowners scored an incredible deal during the pandemic, a 3% mortgage rate for the remainder of their 30-year loan. Now they're staying put because moving would mean taking on a rate that's twice as high. This means buyers who are in the market now are duking it out for a very small pool of homes, preventing home values from plunging. Interestingly enough, in other countries, variable rate mortgages are more common than the fixed rate mortgages, so this locked-in effect is much less common. According to Redfin, the number of homes in the US for sale each year dropped 15% year over year to an all-time low in June, the biggest annual decline in nearly 2 years. They cite that nearly 9 out of 10 homeowners with a mortgage have a mortgage rate of less than 6%, which is nearly 1% less than today's average of 6.99%. I know that I myself refinanced in 2021 and I got a 2.875% rate rate for 30 years. Why would I then give that up to then go buy something else with a much higher interest rates when prices are still super high, at least here where I am in the DC area? Comment below if you're in a similar situation as me. I'm sure there are a lot of you out there. And this really hurts first-time buyers especially. They have no leverage of a property to sell, so they're basically held hostage to high interest rates as well as high home prices. The U.S. housing market has become a system of winners and losers, Zhao said. The winners are the homeowners who bought before mortgage rates started rising. They continue to build equity even though homebuyer demand has slowed. The losers, sadly, tend to be first-time buyers. They're entering the market at a time when it's expensive to borrow money, home prices are near their record high, and there are very few houses to choose from. Now, as we have discussed, not all housing markets are created equal. Some current markets are experiencing big drops in home values. According to the Redfin article, there are 32 U.S. metropolitan areas where aggregate home value declined from a year ago in June, going against the national trend. 11 of the 32 are in California, and 7 of them are in Texas. This analysis includes the 100 most populous U.S. metros for which there was sufficient data. The value of homes in Austin, Texas fell 9.6% year over year to $388.1 billion in June, a larger decline than any other metro. Next came Oakland, California, down 8.7%, Seattle down 8.1%, San Francisco down 7.8%, and Los Angeles down 6.6%. Rounding out the top 10 are San Jose, California, Phoenix, Oxnard, California, Las Vegas, and Sacramento, California. They cite overheated markets created during the pandemic, like in Austin, pricey markets where people left to find a cheaper place to live when they could work from home, like San Francisco and Seattle, and tech layoffs as the reasons that these markets are experiencing such declines in home prices. And as far as relatively affordable housing markets where home values experienced the biggest gains, Little Rock, Arkansas climbed 8.8% year over year, a bigger increase than any other metro. Next came Camden, New Jersey, up 8.7%, Milwaukee up 8.5%, Wilmington, Delaware up 8.5%, Bridgeport, Connecticut 8.3%, Greenville, South Carolina 7.8%, Hartford, Connecticut 7.6%, Charleston, South Carolina 7.2%, Greensboro, North Carolina 7.2%, and Columbia, South Carolina 7.1%. So what does this all mean for the future of our housing markets? I recently attended a presentation by Dave Stevens, who has served as Senior Vice President of Single Family Homes at Freddie Mac, Executive Vice President of Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, Assistant Secretary of Housing and FHA Commissioner, and CEO of the Mortgage Bankers Association. So he knows what he's talking about, and he cited several sources that believe that mortgage rates are going to come down in the next few years. Here's a few of them. NAR, the National Association of Realtors, believes that mortgage rates will fall to 6% this year and 5.6% in 2024. Bank of America's Global Research, mortgage rates to fall to 5.25% by year's end. The MBA, or the Mortgage Bankers Association, 5.5% by the end of the year and lower next year. And Freddie Mac, which said that rates will gently go down for the rest of 2023. If this happens and rates dip into the 5s, and especially if they happen to dip into the 4s, then those homeowners who've been sitting on the sidelines with their very low interest rates that don't want to go and buy something with double the rate may decide it's time to get into the market. It's a lot less painful to trade in an interest rate for maybe 1% higher than for an interest rate that's double your rate. And if that does happen, we'll see a lot more inventory, but also a lot more demand, which may make our housing market even crazier. Think about it. The first-time buyers will jump back in with lower rates, and the sellers will also be buyers. I can see home prices going up even higher. In Dave's words, this could cause the biggest wave of buying demand in U.S. history. And if that happens, home prices will continue to go up. There'll be more transactions, more homeowners, and more value. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. I know some of you still think that a housing crash is imminent, and although I don't have a crystal ball, unless something super dramatic happens, and it's possible, we did experience a global pandemic recently, I just don't see that happening. But comment below. Let's have a conversation about it. Tell us where you live so we can see your perspective. And if you missed my last video on Zillow and CoreLogic and others housing market forecasts, definitely check that out next. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Bye.